Calling all extras, a movie featuring Paul Rudd and Paul Giamatti is filming at the Don CeSar Hotel and needs background actors. It tells the story of a summit of climate scientists nearly 50 years ago at the famed hotel. They advised Congress about global warming for the very first time. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Chris Hurst tracked down one of the men who was there and what he remembers.
What, you haven't heard of me?
Chances are you have heard of Paul Rudd and Paul Giamatti. They'll be starring in a new film based on this book, Losing Earth.
Mr. Pomerantz.
It chronicles a 1980 summit when some of the first climate scientists met at the Don CeSar Hotel on St. Pete Beach to discuss global warming.
Our final speaker of the evening, Mr. Pomerantz,
including Rafe Pomerantz, who for decades has been a leading advocate for action to tame our climate.
Ultimately to achieve perhaps global limits on emissions of greenhouse gases.
I remember the building. Wasn't it a pink building?
According to a transcript, the group tried to form new policy, but became bogged down over language like if climate change will or likely will happen.
I think it will bring out a lot of the sort of debate that was occurring back then, almost 50 years ago.
Pomerantz has continued a focus on Florida, now trying to raise awareness of one of the effects of a warming planet, sea level rise.
A global limit to sea level rise, an upper limit. There is no such limit.
Pomerantz is now approaching 80 and says his memory of the conference at the Pink Palace is fading. But their goal was clear: advise Congress on steps to address global warming, which he says only had limited success.
This meeting may have its greatest legacy in the movie and what follows from that.
In St. Petersburg, Chris Hurst, 10 Tampa Bay News.
Pomerantz says he's one of the main characters in the script, but wouldn't say who is portraying him. If you're interested in being an extra at the Don CeSar in early April, we do have that information right now on 10tampabay.com.